Dear viewers, welcome to our channel. Recently, Hyundai Motor Group announced the global sales data for 2023. It is reported that Hyundai Motor Group achieved a global cumulative sales of 7.3 million vehicles in 2023, once again becoming the third largest automotive group in the world, and maintaining its position as the third largest global sales volume for 2 consecutive years, only behind Toyota and Volkswagen. Hyundai Motor Group has achieved tremendous success in the global market, especially in terms of sales and performance. However, in stark contrast to its success in the global market, Hyundai and Kia's market share in China has been continuously declining. Although they are accelerating the introduction of new energy products to cope with market challenges, they still face fierce competition and internal competition in the domestic market, making it difficult to establish a foothold. The question arises, is there a specific strategy or advantage behind Hyundai Motor Group's success in the global market? Why is there such a stark difference in performance between the Chinese market and the global market? Can new energy products become the key to reversing the situation for Hyundai and Kia in the Chinese market? How do they cope with the fierce competition and internal competition in the domestic market? What does the rise of domestic brands in the Chinese market mean for Hyundai and Kia's competition? Can they adjust their strategies to meet this challenge? Hyundai's global sales reached 4.21 million units, an increase of 7%, while Kia's global sales reached 3.08 million units, an increase of 6.4%, both showing a growth trend. It is particularly noteworthy that Kia's sales even exceeded BYD by more than 60,000 units. In 2023, Hyundai's total revenue was 162.7 trillion won, with a net profit of 12.27 trillion won, an increase of 53.7% year-on-year. Kia's total revenue was 99.81 trillion won, with an operating profit of 11.61 trillion won, an increase of 60.5% year-on-year. In terms of sales and performance, Hyundai Motor Group has performed outstandingly in the global market. However, the situation is quite the opposite in the Chinese market. In recent years, the presence of Beijing Hyundai and Kia in the Chinese market has continued to decline. According to the data from the China Association of Automobile Manufacturers, CAAM, the market share of Korean brands in the Chinese market was only 1.5% in 2023. Declining for 6 consecutive years. In 2023, Beijing Hyundai sold 257,000 new cars in the Chinese market. Although the year-on-year growth was only 2.8%, this slight upward trend reflects its steady position in the market. Especially the main product, Elantra, sold 108,700 units, demonstrating consumers' recognition and preference for its cost-effectiveness, further supporting Beijing Hyundai's sales performance. Meanwhile, Kia performed exceptionally well in 2023, with a cumulative sales volume of 166,395 units, a staggering year-on-year growth of 31.2%. Particularly noteworthy is that nearly half of its sales were for export, demonstrating Kia's competitiveness and influence in overseas markets. Facing the current challenges, Kia's statement has attracted widespread attention in the market. Yan Honghai, Chief Operating Officer of Kia China, publicly stated that the company has sufficient capital and technological strength, and will resolutely not withdraw from the Chinese market. Instead, it will take measures to increase market competitiveness at the right time and consolidate its position in the Chinese market. Meanwhile, domestic brands continue to seize market share with the hot sales of new energy vehicles. According to data from the CAAM, the market share of domestic brands reached 52% in 2023, an increase of 4.6 percentage points compared to the same period last year, demonstrating strong growth momentum. In such a market environment, Hyundai Motor Group is also unwilling to fall behind, accelerating the deployment of new energy products in the Chinese market to adapt to changes and demands in the market, further consolidating its position and competitive advantage in the Chinese market. Earlier, Beijing Hyundai announced an ambitious plan to launch a brand new pure electric vehicle in 2024, and plan to introduce more than 5 new energy vehicle models in the next 3 years, including pure electric and plug-in hybrid vehicles. Similarly, Kia also has its own plan. They will launch the all-new EV9 this year, followed by the entry-level model EV3 in 2025, then introduce a high-end electric sedan based on a new generation of electric vehicle platform in 2026, and finally plan to launch a mid-size SUV model in 2027. Although both Beijing Hyundai and Kia have formulated plans for multiple new energy vehicles, whether they can establish a dominant position in the domestic market remains uncertain. Currently, the domestic new energy vehicle market is experiencing rapid internal competition, and price wars are escalating, posing a huge challenge to Hyundai and Kia. It becomes extremely difficult for them to establish a foothold in this fiercely competitive market without obvious brand and price advantages. However, this is also a moment of both opportunity and challenge. Hyundai and Kia can use their brand new electric vehicle product line to reshape their image in the market, enhance brand influence, and increase market share. At the same time, they can increase investment in technology research and development, continuously innovate, improve product quality and performance to meet the demand for high-quality, high-performance new energy vehicles from consumers. Through these efforts, they may be able to stand out in the fierce market competition and achieve sustained growth in performance. Since 2011, the plant has produced domestically customized models such as lorries, global small sports utility vehicle, SUV, Creta and Kia Rio. In addition, 2 special market situations are supplemented: the Russian market and the Indian market. Due to the Russia-Ukraine war and Western sanctions against Russia, the business of Hyundai Motor Group in Russia has stagnated for a year. Hyundai Motor's Russian factory also ceased production in March 2022. It was revealed that Hyundai Motor's Russian subsidiary, St. Petersburg factory, produced 90,000 vehicles in 2022, a decrease of 55.9% from 2021, 203,000 vehicles. And this number is the output before the factory stopped production as of last March. So far, Hyundai Motor has chosen to persevere rather than withdraw from the Russian market. The sales of the Russian subsidiary in 2021 were about 3.17 trillion won, which was reduced to 875.5 billion won in the third quarter of last year. Although Hyundai Motor still has sales in Russia relying on the remaining inventory before the suspension of production, losses inevitably increase over time. Therefore, local companies laid off workers at the end of last year. Not only Hyundai Motor, in the past year, Toyota, Nissan, and Volkswagen factories have successively withdrawn from Russia. Among them, according to the policy of the Russian Ministry of Industry and Trade, Nissan's shares in the local factory were nationalized and transferred to the Russian State Automobile Development Research Institute, NOMI. The nationalized Nissan factory will be restarted under the leadership of the Russian automaker KAMAZ and the participation of Chinese automakers. There is an opinion that China FAW Group will take over the equity and become the ultimate winner. Great Wall Motors subsidiary Haval Motors has surpassed the 100,000 mark in cumulative sales in Russia. After the Russia-Ukraine war, it ranked third in the local automotive market brand ranking. With the stagnation of Hyundai Motors' business in Russia, Astana Motors, a local company in Kazakhstan, is seeking to acquire a Russian factory of Hyundai Motor Company with an annual capacity of 100,000 vehicles. Hyundai Motor acquired the factory from General Motors in 2020 and initially planned to merge it into the St. Petersburg factory to expand its production system in Russia. It is worth noting that, in contrast to the poor performance in the Russian and Chinese markets, Hyundai Motor Group's sales in India continue to grow. From the beginning of this year to February, the cumulative sales of Hyundai and Kia reached 150,341 vehicles, an increase of 19.8% from last year's 125,512 vehicles. The market share exceeded 21.2%, with Hyundai accounting for 13.9% and Kia accounting for 7.3%. Only second to Maruti Suzuki, which accounts for 43.7%. In 2022, India's total car sales reached 4.25 million units, making it the world's third largest car market, and therefore considered the main growth engine of Hyundai Motor Group. Last year, Hyundai Motor Company's overall sales in India exceeded 800,000 vehicles, with Hyundai selling 552,511 vehicles, and Kia selling 254,556 vehicles, achieving the best performance in history. In order to maintain growth momentum, Hyundai Motor plans to increase production in India. On March 13, Hyundai Motor's Indian subsidiary signed an agreement with General Motors to acquire the Talegaon factory in Maharashtra, India. This is the first time Hyundai Motor Company has acquired a factory since entering the local market in 1996. After acquiring General Motors' Talegaon factory with an annual capacity of 130,000 vehicles, Hyundai Motors' total annual production capacity in India will reach 900,000 vehicles. Finally, let me summarize for readers. I hope you have gained something, enlightenment and reflection. As an observer of the international automotive market, I believe that success in the global market does not necessarily mean the same achievements in every individual market. Each market has its unique environment and challenges, requiring companies to adjust their strategies according to the actual situation. In such a fiercely competitive market like China, the introduction of new energy vehicles is an important strategic move, but the key to success lies in the competitiveness and positioning of the products. In addition, companies should strengthen brand building and marketing to enhance competitiveness in the Chinese market. That's all for today's video. Stay tuned for the next exciting content. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.